rectangles given an area, there are 4 steps. How many steps are there? 4 steps, okay? We're gonna read through them real quickly, then we're gonna go back and focus on them. So, will you put finger number 1 up in the air, wave it around like you just don't care? And will you read step number 1 with me on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Identify the area and the story problem. Okay, step number 2, read it with me. Write down area formula. Okay, step number 3, I should see all your fingers. Step number 3, say it with me. Draw and label rectangles. Okay, step number 4, 4 fingers. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, Zamir. Thank you, Shanara. Read it with me. Repeat 1 through 3 and compare. What do you notice? Okay, how many steps? Raise your hand silently. How many steps are there to create and compare rectangles given an area? Okay, so stop. Absolutely. If you said 4, you are absolutely correct. Okay? All right, so now I need a trustworthy friend who can do it silently without talking and do it quickly. I need a trustworthy friend to pass out papers. If I don't say your name, you should not whine or complain. Be okay with it, move on, okay? Shanara, will you pass out papers real quickly? Thank you for not saying anything. Shanara, when you, 5th graders, when you get your papers, you will see that there is a story problem with the Titanic, which is what we have been focusing on. When you get your paper, will you point to that photograph text feature of a person named Mr. Andrews? Put your finger on Mr. Andrews. Thank you, Jeremiah. I can tell you're ready. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, dear. Okay, I should see all of your fingers on the text feature. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, Elijah. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Isis. Okay, this is a text feature called a photograph. And on this photograph, there's a picture of a man named Mr. Andrews. What is his name? Mr. Andrews, okay? All right, so on the count of 3, and you guys remember how I told you I wasn't perfect and I make mistakes? I made a mistake on this. Raise your hand if you can point it out. Read through that. Raise your hand if you can point it out. I did make a mistake. Zamir's got it. Zamir, what mistake did I make? What is it supposed to say? Did you know? Okay, so reading that with me on the count of 3, even though there is a mistake, just put no in there, okay? I made a mistake. Reading it with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Did you know Thomas Andrews was a naval architect in Georgia?
Oh, wait.
For the Titanic.
Stop. Let's try that again, okay? On the count of 3 together. 1, 2, 3.
Did you know Thomas Andrews was a naval architect in charge of the plans for the Titanic? Nowadays, naval architects make about $87,000 a year. He died at the Titanic site.
Okay. How much money does a naval architect make? How much money did it say, Elijah? $87,000. So, we're going to do something that helps you if you want to become an architect. Somebody who builds things like the Titanic. You have to know how to find the area on the perimeter, okay? So, we're going to take a look at the story problem. Then we're going to solve it together. Then you're going to solve the rest of them on your own. So I need your loudest teacher voices following along with your fingers on number 1. Will you please put your finger on number 1 so I know that you're on the same page as me? Thank you, Shanara. Right here, Zai. Thank you, Jeremiah. Elijah on number 1. On number 1. Okay, reading it with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Andrews was designing rooms for the Titanic. He wanted to build rooms that have an area of 18 square units. Draw and label 2 rectangles. Mr. Andrews completed his plan. Compare the perimeters of the 2 rectangles you drew.
Awesome. Okay, voices are real quickly. What did Miss F teach you of how to find the area? What are you going to have to do? What is that formula? Think about it for a second. Oh, area equals what? Jeremiah, can you help us out?
Area equals length times.
Thank you for using your resources, Jeremiah. Area equals length times width. So, step number 1. Read step number 1 with me.
Identify the area in the story problem.
Okay, so on your paper, you need to take your pencil and you're going to underline where it says that the area is. So go back and read the story problem and make your paper look like mine. We should have 18 square units underlined because that is the area. 18 square units underlined because that is the area. That's what we're going to be working with. Thank you, Isis. Thank you, Shadara. Okay, so step number 1, identify the area in the story problem. Step number 2, read it with me.
Write down area formula.
Okay, so on your paper, you're making your paper look exactly like mine. On your paper, you're going to split it in half down at the bottom. We're going to have a rectangle A, and we're going to have a rectangle B. Make your paper look exactly like mine. Thank you, Samir. Thank you, Jeremiah. Okay, step number 2 says to write down the area formula. So I'm going to write area equals length times width because that's how I find the formula. So make sure your paper looks exactly like mine for rectangle A. There you go, Isis. Shimara, what do you want for the exact thing? Samir, your voice is off. Okay, now here's where the tricky part comes in. Okay, let's see if you can get this. Let's see how great your multiplication skills are, especially since you've been working on them for the past couple of days. Raise your hand, don't say anything. Raise your hand. What two numbers can be multiplied to get this area of 18? So I'm looking for 2 numbers that can be multiplied that equals 18. Don't say anything. Zinger's got it. Sai's got it. Think about it inside of your head. Antonio's got it. What 2 numbers can be multiplied to give you 18? Zai, what are you thinking?
9.
9 and
2.
perfect.
Yes.
Okay, on your paper, write down 9 times 2. 9 times 2. Okay. Now, 9 times 2 is equal to
18.
18, absolutely. So 18 square units equals 9 times 2. Okay? Now, the 3rd step. Read it with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Draw a label rectangle.
Okay, so right below it, draw a rectangle. It doesn't have to be perfect. Mine took 5 seconds. It's not exactly perfect. Okay? Go ahead and draw a quick rectangle. Now, on your rectangle, you need to label the length and you need to label the width. Now, the width is usually shorter and the width is on the side, so that would be 2 units on the side, then 9 units down here on the bottom. The length and the width. Okay. Now, here's my next question to you. If the length over here, or if the width over here is 2, then what would the width over here be? If they're exactly the same, what would the width be? Just blurt it over. 2! Absolutely right. This time, don't blurt it until my hands go down, okay? My hands are up. When they go down, you can blurt it, okay? Zamir, stop talking. So, if this side is the same as this side, then what would this side equal?
9.
Okay, 9, absolutely. Okay, now we have to repeat the same steps for rectangle B because I want 2 rectangles. So you're gonna do more of this on your own now, okay? So let's think, because 9 times 2, oops, sorry, it's a personnel. Okay, on your paper for rectangle B, go ahead and write down our formula. A equals length times width. Thank you, Isis. You're on the same page with me, Zai. You're getting there. Thank you. Thanks, Noah. Okay, What other two factors equals 18? Raise your hand, don't say anything. 9 times 2 is not the only one. What are the other two factors that equal 18? 6 times 2 is equal to 12. What is another factor that equals 18? Antonio, your hand is so quiet and your voice is loud. What other factor equals 18? What other two factors? 2 times 6. No, 2 times 6 is equal to 12. 3? Absolutely, Antonio. 18 equals 3 times 6. Write that down in your paper. Make sure it looks exactly like mine.
I did.
Here, stop talking. Okay. Step number 3, draw and label your rectangles. You go ahead and do that on your paper. I'm not going to do it for you this time.